Recorded Books presents The Days of Bluegrass Love by Edward von de Vendel. Translated by Emma Ralt. Narrated by Tom Picasso. A quote from River Phoenix in my own private Idaho. We're good friends, and it's good to be, good friends. That's a good thing. Summer 1999. First half. Tycho had never been on a plane, but he'd experienced a moon landing, live and up close. In the orchard where he'd been working to save up money for his ticket, he'd met Nina. After a day of thinning plums, she'd coaxed him to her house and to her bedroom. They'd sat down on her bed. Nina was laughing. Tycho was talking over her, and then she'd started fumbling with the buttons of his shirt, slowly unfastening them from top to bottom, as if counting down to 0, as if pulling the petals off a flower. Tycho let the sleeves slide off his arms. His shirt fell helplessly to the floor. Nina grabbed the hem of Tycho's undershirt and pulled on it. He held his hands up and said, "Help!" Nina giggled and took her top off. They fell back onto the bed and gently turned, their bellies touching. He could feel Nina breathing as she guided his hands to her bra clasp. He fumbled with it. She kissed him. Then she lifted herself up on her elbow, allowing him to pull the bra from between them. She arched her back, and her breasts touched against his skin. For the first time, he felt that double pressure of velvet on his smooth body, like the legs of a lunar module, carefully touching down. 1969, Tycho thought. First man on the moon. When he biked home that evening, the night wasn't blue, but pale, like skin. Yes, the moon was glowing, as pale as Nina's skin. For years, Tycho had lived in his pencil case. His days had opened and shut like his schoolbooks. He was the faceless pupil, the son whose parents each recognized half of themselves in him. He looked in the mirror twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening, and during the hours in between, he didn't think about himself. Until his senior year. That's when everyone started asking him what he intended to study, what his plans for the future were, whether he was moving out to the city. For a while he replied, "Oh, geez, I don't know." But one afternoon he sat down, opened his computer, and typed his name 40 times in a row. Tycho Zeling. Tycho Zeling. Tycho Zeling. Then he ran to the bathroom to look in the mirror. He saw the startled expression in his eyes. He thought his nose was too small, his lips too full, and his short blonde hair too lifeless, as if someone had dropped it on his head by accident. He decided to buy stronger hair gel, take a trip to America, and go a year without thinking about college. His parents said, "What?" and "Oh," and nodded cautiously. In the restroom at the airport, Tycho checked the mirror to see if his hair was mussed up nicely. It was just as it should be. It had to be sticking up in different directions, like signposts pointing his busy mind toward all the corners of the world. He ran a hand through it and headed off to pee. Men are hunters, he thought, or there wouldn't be pictures of flies in these urinals. Taking aim, a primal instinct. Such an old-fashioned idea. He hadn't been on the hunt for Nina. With her, it had all just happened. He'd liked that. Nina thought his eyes were so beautiful, so blue, so full of expectation. She'd caught them in her laser gaze from when he first shook her hand until they kissed. That's what you called a weapon. More advanced, more subtle, and maybe more dangerous than his, the man's. All right, Tycho thought. Me. The man. He went to one of the sinks and looked at himself. The door opened. Tycho quickly nudged up the faucet handle
Sample complete. Ready to continue?